Hi, our names are Toni Talbot and Brooke McDonnell, and this is our presentation for Design and Technology Assessment 2, Designing and Building a Working Model for Teaching Purposes. Our model is designed in the book The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister.
The book tells the story of a fish with multicoloured scales that decides to share his beauty with the other fish as a way of making new friends.
We chose this story as is familiar with children of many ages and is a good resource to use within the classrooms, as the story is known for morals about sharing and being kind to others. The story could be easily adapted into working models using the two mechanisms of electrics and pneumatics. The scene we chose to depict into the model is when the small fish approaches the rainbow fish, as you can see here.
During the design phase, we brainstormed ideas on how we wanted the model to look, keeping in mind the mechanisms. As you can see within our initial design process, we changed the design of it as we went along. We wanted to use a fishbowl with a lid, but quickly realised this was inappropriate to use within the classroom as it would easily break. We next wanted to use a box with just the sides and top, however again realised that this would be unstable, so in the end we decided to go with the design that you see here.
As you can see, the model clearly coincides within the maximum measurements of 40 × 40 × 40.
We decided to keep the focus around the rainbow fish, making him as bright and visible as possible. We chose to make the rainbow fish out of felt, as this demonstrates a different joining technique for students. Keeping in mind that it is a teaching resource, we wanted to show as many different methods of design and technology as possible.
We knew that we wanted to use materials within the model as accessible and safe for students as possible, knowing that the model would be focused towards junior primary classes. The materials we used included cardboard, tissue paper, felt, popsicle sticks, wool, acrylic paint, textures and paper. We also included objects that could be found around the playground, such as rocks and sand. All the materials can be found not only within the class, but most households also. We also wanted to use as many different materials as possible to show students that they can design their own models using a range of materials, components, tools, equipment, as seen within the Australian curriculum.
The two mechanisms that we chose were electronics and pneumatics. As you can see, they trigger each other off. As the smaller fish moves along the box using the pneumatic system at the back, it closes the circuit of electrics, triggering the light bulb at the front of the model to light up.
The back of the box is neatly visible, allowing students to see how each component works. The components are securely fixed to the back of the box. The multiple components include the wire, the syringes, the plastic tubing and the battery. They are easily accessible also in the instance that a teacher has to fix anything.
The fish is hot glued to the end of the syringe, allowing for easy movement. As you can see, when the first syringe is pushed, it allows air to travel through the plastic tubing, forcing the second syringe to push forward. Therefore, the attached fish moves from left to right.
When the fish is pushed all the way to the right, the split pin that is attached to the nose of the fish hits the second split pin attached to the rainbow fish, transferring the electrical current from one split pin to another, allowing for a successful completion of a circuit, therefore lighting the bulb. The electrical circuit included two red wires, two black wires and a battery pack. As shown, the red wire was attached to the red wire and the black wire was attached to the black wire. This meant that when the battery was placed in the battery pack, the electrical circuit would result in the fish's eye lighting up as shown.
We used a number of joining applications throughout the model, such as sewing, gluing with both craft glue and hot glue. We use these methods in a number of ways. For example, the fish is sewn with a number of different stitching techniques as shown. To create more stability also, we decided to sew the fish to the box instead of hot gluing it.
Upon completion, we were happy with the overall design of the product. We faced many challenges along the way. We had to alter our initial design a few times, as the model would be unsafe. We also came across a few issues when attaching the mechanisms to the box. We initially wanted a lid that would hold our mechanisms, but as you can see, it is now attached to the back.
We also wanted the rainbow fish to move as opposed to the smaller fish. However, we soon realised that it was too heavy and kept falling forward.
If we were to improve the model in any way, we would add more sea animals to the model to make it look more authentic, as well as attaching the title of the book in a more secure way, possibly on rungs.
We believe our model works well as a teaching resource for the classroom as it incorporates many concepts, skills, and processes that allow students the opportunity to create and design solutions using design and technology contexts such as engineering systems and fibre production.